Greetings, I am Herbert Erpaderp, and today we're going to look at what's in this Bandai ATST box. Obviously it is going to be an ATST. The box is very clear in saying that. It even says it twice. It's also kind enough to let us know what scale this is in, that being 1/48th scale. So this will work really well with those Tamiya kits that I like to build.
These are for Star Wars, Herbert, not World War II, you dunce.
Quite you. Anyway, I think the box for this kit looks really nice. It gives the impression of a high quality product, and that does seem like that's what this is. The sides of the box show a handful of images of the ATST and let us know that the legs, weapons and turrets are movable and can create a variety of poses. Sounds good to me. Inside the box we find a bunch of plastic in bags, surprising nobody. There are 6 plastic sprues in total, most of which are in a light grey colour, except for this first one. It has some other colours as well. It's interesting to see multiple colours on the same sprue. Not really something I see a lot. I think it might be more common with Gundam kits and things like that though. This sprue includes the base, which I think is pretty neat. Not only does it have an outline for the feet of the model, but there's mounting pins as well, which I can imagine will be very helpful. The shape of the terrain here is a little bit soft and doesn't really have any detail, but that's fine. I would think it's really more of a base that you would add your own basing stuff to on top of that rather than just painting it. There's also a Chewie. This is very cool. I might not include him in the model when I build it, but I really like him. Also, there are some translucent red bits. These are meant to be blasts from the blasters, if that's what they're called. I'm not very well versed in the names of Star Wars weaponry. It's nice that these are included, even if they don't end up being used. These pieces are all very neatly moulded. I have been told by a few people that Bandai kits are very good, and looking at these sprues, I'm convinced. It does look to be a high quality kit. Even then, mould lines are present, but they're really very minor, and I'm not anticipating doing a lot of cleanup with this one. This next sprue has some leg and foot pieces, and this crew figure. The pose is very rigid and a bit unnatural looking, but otherwise it looks great. The other bits here are things I can't really identify beyond probably leg stuff, but it looks good and is pretty well detailed. I mean, I'm no ATST-ologist, so I can't tell you if it's 100% screen accurate, and there's probably more than one obsessive Star Wars fan with detailed notes on why this sucks, but boy am I profoundly uninterested in hearing from them. Another sprue which seems to contain mostly leg stuff. To be fair though, these things do seem to be quite leggy. Ooh la la. The box does say that the legs are movable, and I will be interested to see how that works during assembly. I don't think I really want it to be movable in the end, but it's nice to be able to pose things exactly how you want them. This sprue also contains the outer shell of the cockpit? Cab? What would you call it? The part in which the crew sits. This looks pretty good, and you can see that where the hatches go is open, so you should be able to see those crew figures through the front, which is nice. This sprue here contains a bunch of parts for the part in which the crew sits. It looks as though there's going to be quite a bit of internal detail here, which I think is pretty cool, though I do hope a lot of it is going to be visible through the hatches. I like this rear wall part, it's pretty interesting. Those fans almost look like something you might see on a Panther tank. Yet another sprue. This one, again, containing a lot of upper body parts. I have to be honest, I wasn't counting on there being quite this many parts in this kit, but then I didn't really bother doing any research before ordering it. Not that I think having so many bits is a bad thing anyway. The parts do look really neat, and are very nicely detailed. It looks like there could be a lot of interesting things to paint, though I do believe these are pretty much just grey all over. I suppose even in that case, there's a lot of little bits and pieces that could receive some weathering and such. This final sprue is fairly similar to the one with the feety bits and crew figure, but there are a few different bits and pieces here, little detaily bits and so forth. They look to be mostly weapons and associated mounting parts. Very nice. The second crew figure is also on this sprue, and it seems to be pretty much the same as the first one. Very stiff looking, but that's okay. I don't think they're going to be super visible through the hatches, and they're also not the main focus, so I don't see it as a real problem at all. The plastic in this kit is quite good, but it's not all that you get. You also get a choice between stickers, on the left, and decals, which are on the right. In my opinion, the decals look just a bit nicer. Also, I can't imagine why I would want to use stickers. But perhaps that's a good option for those who aren't going to paint the model for whatever reason. Either way, it's nice to have choices and some free stickers. There's also this instruction booklet, which is printed in colour and looks very nice and presentable. The instructions seem like they'll be easy to understand and follow along with, which is really something you would want in a set of instructions. Of course, I won't know if that's the case for sure until I start building the model, but we'll get there pretty soon, and I'll let you know what I think when I do that. This is a very nice instruction booklet, but something I feel is missing is some sort of painting and marking guide. Though I suppose this is meant to be all grey, and there's not too much to that, and it is entirely possible that I've missed something saying where the markings should go. Or maybe they just go wherever you feel like putting them. Either way, I think this is going to be a really enjoyable build, and one that I'm going to be starting very soon, likely even before this video is online. If you want to watch me build this live, head on over to twitch.tv/Herbert_Erpaderp and give me a follow. That way you'll be notified when I go live. Also, this is going to be my entry for the sci-fi group build that's taking place on my Discord server. If you would like some more information about that, there's a link in the description and in the upper right corner now. Okay, so that was a quick look at the Star Wars AT-ST kit from Bandai. What do you think? Have you built this kit yourself? If so, is there anything you think other modelers would find helpful to know before starting their own build? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe, follow, ring the bell, become a YouTube member or patron, and all of the other things you do on YouTube and social media. Links to all of my things are in the description below. And, as always, I shall return soon. So until then, be excellent to each other, and thank you for watching. Farewell.